Hello, we made the webpage on Clemson University's connection to Fort Hill and worked with our client, Dr. Thomas, to create an informative and interactive website about Fort Hill. The following are our group members.
I'm Kylie Walford. I'm a senior nutrition major.
I'm Brittany Wallace. I'm a marketing major, sophomore.
I'm John Martin. I'm a sophomore financial management major.
I'm Kyle Ferrioli, a junior marketing major.
And I'm Alec Revesi, a junior food science major. Fort Hill is a plantation that was once famously owned by John C. Calhoun, a leading American politician from South Carolina, and Thomas Green Clemson, who was a respected ambassador for the U.S. In Thomas Green Clemson's will, he called for the establishment of a land-grant university to be built on the property encompassing Fort Hill Plantation upon his death, which later became Clemson University. Fort Hill has remained an important part of Clemson University's history and is located in the center of its preserved by the university and staff. We will now tell you a little bit about the process we went through in creating this website.
Fort Hill already has a few websites dedicated to telling the story of John C. Calhoun, Thomas Green Clemson, and Fort Hill's connection to Clemson University. However, we wanted to deliver the client a site that was more engaging and interesting than the other available sites. We wanted to do this by creating intriguing deliverables that will be entertaining to the viewer. We thought that the best way to do this would be to create a series of videos interviewing students, faculty, and alumni that have a connection to Clemson University. We decided to do this because we wanted to understand their connection to Fort Hill. Our deliverables told both sides of the story. We showed those who had no idea what Fort Hill was or where it was located, and also had the individuals who knew the importance of Fort Hill tell us about their connection to the historic home. Our deliverables consisted of a brief history of Fort Hill, information about Legacy Day, photos, and interviews that display the significance of Fort Hill.
Historically, Fort Hill is ultimately what gave rise to Clemson University. In order to make a stronger connection, we wanted to know what Fort Hill meant to the Clemson University community, specifically alumni and students. It quickly became known that there was a lack of connection between Clemson students and Fort Hill. We decided to raise awareness of the problem by creating a video that reflected the disconnection between students and this historic home. We would later compile interviews from individuals expressing their concern of this lack of knowledge and what the university can do to bridge the gap. The following is a video highlighting Clemson's lack of knowledge about Fort Hill.
As a Clemson student, I know nothing about Fort Hill.
I know it's that white building over between the library and Park.
Legacy Day is held there once a year. I believe in the fall, maybe the spring. I don't know. And you get to go through and do a little paper quiz and take a little walking tour of it. They have different rooms set up so that you can view how you lived, and I'm pretty sure some of it's still the original furniture. But yeah. Has green shutters.
As a Clemson student, I walk by it every day, but I don't really know anything about it other than it's just white building. That's about it.
I know that it's located in the center of campus, and it's a white building. As a Clemson student, I do not know
Thomas Green.
Thomas Clemson and John Calhoun. I believe that we could offer free tours during orientation to educate students about Fort Hill.
Probably by making it useful to them in some way, or also educating them about what I don't know what it's about at all. So maybe if they knew more about it, they would like to. Appreciate it more.
Just general upkeep, mowing the grass. You can paint the walls and trim the grass. To preserve Fort Hill, you can inform students by printing out brochures and creating websites or video to inform them, I guess.
Having graduated Clemson, I think going back and seeing Fort Hill is interesting, and it kind of reminds me of Clemson's rich history.
I don't know, not that much. Yeah, the only thing it means to me is I just look at it sometimes when I'm walking by. That's about it.
In our proposal, we had to construct a Gantt chart, which helped us visualize our time frame for the project. For the most part, we followed this Gantt chart, except for the interviewing times. This was because we did not accurately predict the amount of time it would take to receive responses from potential interviewees. Our main objectives were to use our time effectively and efficiently, and to provide a visually appealing deliverable.
We sent out a series of invitations to people that were connected to the home to interview for this website. We first interviewed a bunch of students and alumni to ask them what they currently know about Fort Hill, who used to live there, how they think we could increase interest in the home, and how we currently preserve it. These interviews showcase the lack of knowledge or disconnect that Clemson students currently have about Fort Hill. We then conducted 5 more interviews with faculty and staff of Fort Hill who knew more about the historical home and its importance to the university. We asked them why they thought it was important and how they think we, as Clemson students, could do a better job advertising Fort Hill and preserving it. These interviews were done to garner more interest in the home. We then edited the videos and put them into 6 shorter videos, approximately 2 to 4 minutes in length, to put on the website.
Faculty play an extremely important role at Clemson University. They are responsible for properly educating students in a variety of subjects. Because faculty members play a crucial role in the functioning of Clemson University, we wanted to get a better understanding of their connection to Fort Hill. Through our interviews with faculty members, we learned that most faculty members did have a connection to Fort Hill. Many of these faculty members that we interviewed say they try to incorporate Fort Hill into their history or into their lectures or class projects.
Our class decided to utilize the free website builder Weebly to make our final copy of the website. For everyone in our group, this was something we had never used before, so it took us time to acclimate ourselves with the interface and to get used to building a web page with it. On the Clemson Connection webpage, we decided to place 2 pictures. On the left, a picture of Tillman taken from Bowman Field, both of which are very iconic to Clemson students and alumni. And on the right, we have a picture of Fort Hill itself. Below this, we have a paragraph that gives a very brief history detailing the link between Fort Hill and Clemson University, as well as the reason our class was making a website about it. Namely, because it is relatively unknown, despite being the birthplace of our great university. Below this paragraph, we have a picture of Thomas Green Clemson's signature from a copy of his will, which of course set everything in motion for his land to become an agricultural college and later one of the top 5 public universities in the United States. Scrolling further down on the webpage brings you to 2 short side-by-side paragraphs that give some information about 2 very important days that Clemson University sponsors to promote Fort Hill's connection to Clemson University. Legacy Day and Founders Day. Legacy Day is held in the middle of November each year, and it is held to celebrate the history of Fort Hill. On it, students can learn more about the founding of Clemson and its rich history through speakers and tours of Fort Hill. Founders Day, an event sponsored by the Tiger Brotherhood, is held every April. It is free and open to the public to emphasize the life and legacy as well as commemorate the death of Thomas G. Clemson. Next, there is a video in which we interviewed current Clemson University students and alumni. And lastly, at the very bottom of our page, we have 5 videos of Clemson University faculty and members, both current and retired, being interviewed about Fort Hill.
In conclusion, we succeeded in everything we had proposed to do. We created an interesting webpage/deliverable that explained the disconnection between Clemson students and Fort Hill. We followed the Gantt chart and effectively used our time. And we learned how to be a self-managing team by properly writing emails, memos, etc. to clients, which are necessary skills in today's society.
We hope you take the time to explore the website johncalhounsforthill.weebly.com. We enjoyed working with you and look forward to hearing how the website is raising awareness of this historic home. Thank you.